check this out real quick. What we got here is a video of Democrats attempting to defend Kamala Harris's quote unquote flip-flops. Believe it or not, they're going with this new phrase, this new talking point. I might actually have to make a shirt of this. I might have to make some merch. And if y'all haven't seen the existing merch, check it out. But I might have to make some new merch. And the new merch might have to say, flip-flopping is the sign of a good leader. That's what it might have to say. Why is that what it might have to say? Because that's what the media is saying. That's what the media is saying. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Because you know that's what I do. I sit up here and turn on my live stream and just sit there and ask rhetorical questions all day because it's fun, right? Does flip-flopping make you a good leader? Let me know.
Harris will be out on the trail today speaking with labor leaders in Michigan before she joins Blue Collar Joe in Pittsburgh for a rally. And a running mate, Tim Walz, will be in Milwaukee speaking with union members at Labor Fest. But several unions, including the Teamsters, still aren't endorsing the Harris-Walz ticket.
From what I understand, and I'm not sure, I haven't had a chance to sit down and look at some of the new polling data, but apparently, according to the polling data, it doesn't look like she's doing well in those swing states. Now, as far as math goes, what we expected, that was exactly what we expected. And the reason why we expected was because Robert F. Kennedy had a decent amount of votes, a little margin that was just enough to change the trajectory of the lead. And since he dropped out and endorsed Trump, it would make sense to assume that probably more than half of his people went with Trump, which would probably give Trump that slim margin that he would need to have him doing pretty decent in the swing states. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
We want the opportunity to sit down with Vice President Harris. I mean, I said to someone the other day, you don't hire someone unless you give them an interview.
Janelle King is the co-chair of Let's Win for America Action, and she joins me now. Janelle, by September, you would assume that the Democrat Party and the people running for president in that party would have locked up all the labor votes by now.
I get scared when I see a black person on Fox. I never know what's going to happen. I get scared. I get scared when I see a black person on Fox, man. Let's see what's going on with this lady here.
But not yet with the Teamsters. So I'm going to flip the script here. What are the chances that Trump snags the Teamsters endorsement? And if he somehow does, what does it mean for Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan?
Yeah, I think that the possibility of President Trump snagging them is pretty high right now because there's no need for labor unions when there isn't any labor, when there is an opportunity for anyone to grow economically or to work. And that's where we're standing. At this stage in the game, Kamala is going to have to come forward with the details of her plans. At this stage, we are no longer open to these wishful thinking and just all of this messaging that's supposed to make everyone feel good, but doesn't have a strategy as to how it's going to actually create the plans and actually create the economic stability that this country needs. So right now, they're looking for answers. They need something. They have to go back to their people and say, yes, this is a person you can count on who's going to ensure that, one, you continue to work, and two, that your wages are at a stage where you can take care of your family.
And obviously, we've been detailing the butterflies and rainbows around Kamala Harris, it seems, over the course of the last 40 plus days since she announced. But when you listen to the Democrats' answers trying to defend her flip-flops, you can hear they're not all on the same page, and it's kind of a mess. Listen.
Look, I'm not.
Now we're gonna go into this defending of the flip-flops. All right, we're gonna go into this defending of the flip-flops because here goes my question: How do you defend flip-flopping? How do you defend it? This is YouTube. This is the place where flip-flopping gets defended. So this is the perfect place to ask this question, if you ask me. How do you defend flip-flopping? How do you do it? Somebody give me the nomogram for flip-flop defense. Show me how it works. Show me the interventions. Show me how it's effective. Show me the decision path. Show it to me all. Show me all of it. All right. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. We got 64 people watching and we got 76 likes. If everybody could take a moment, bang on that like button. Let's try to get it to 150. Let's go.
Here, they're not all on the same page, and it's kind of a mess. Listen.
Look, I'm not the Vice President of the United States, and I do think that when you are representing the whole country, you have.
Yep, and it's going to be somebody that sounds like the gingerbread man on Shrek that says it. She's not flip-flopping. She's evolving. Stop being mean to her. I sense you getting violent. Like the Fuzzy Wuzzy police in full effect. The Fuzzy Wuzzy Gestapo. You know what I'm saying? They're going to love you till it hurts.
have a different perspective. Her values, though, have remained consistent.
I think the vice president is consistent on the position on fracking. It's exactly how Joe Biden ran. Is she as progressive as me or Bernie Sanders or others? No.
Okay, so we literally saw the video with them put right next to each other of her interview that she had on CNN versus where she was at that. I don't know if that was a rally or what. I don't know what that event was that she was at where she said day one ban on fracking, if I'm not mistaken. So what from watching those two things would make you think that her position is the same as Biden and that it hasn't changed? Like if I say no in this instance and then to the same question I say yes in this instance, how can you sit there and say your position hasn't changed? Are you talking about the position as far as like me standing up, me being perpendicular to the ground? Is that the position that you're talking about? Like what position are you talking about?
But she is moving in a progressive direction.
Well, look, I think it's a sign of a good leader that they learn and evolve over time. What she acknowledges is what most Americans acknowledge, is that there's not a one-size-fits-all solution for healthcare.
Hey, look, those answers all over the place. Can the swing state voter who's listening to
those answers are all over the place, man. Those answers are all over the place. And listen, what's wild about it is those answers are all over the place the same way Kamala Harris is all over the place, man. She is all over the place. She is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. She's a ninja. She's a ninja. She's everywhere and nowhere all at the same time with concentration. You know what I'm saying? How does she do it?
that really see through those answers and get at the truth?
Yeah, absolutely. The problem that they're having is that they're expecting us to remember things from 4 and 5 years ago, when we need you to remind us. We need you to tell us, where did you stand on this? Why did you stand on that? And what are you going to do going forward? That is what people are looking forward to. Unfortunately, we as Americans have not had the luxury of just sitting around and listening to her cackle or all of her messaging, as well as Biden's messaging. We've only had to focus in on how we're going to take care of our families, put food on the table, continue to maintain our jobs. I mean, all the other increases that have happened. So we need a reminder, refresh us. Don't just say her stance is still the same as.
Oh man, shout out to AW1, man. Oh man, hey, look, but okay, so look, you right? You right. You got me. You busted me. But can we agree on this? Kamala Harris doing this with her campaign,
just like a woman. Because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. The Reaper keep it 1,000.
Is Kamala Harris doing that? She doing that, ain't she? Come on now. Don't try to call me no misogynist or nothing like that, because y'all know that's what she doing. Shout out to the Reaper. The Reaper kept it 1,000.
As it was 5 years ago. No one cares about that. Tell us where you are today. What does that mean? Remind us.
Before we let you go, I want to get your thoughts on an interesting situation developing out of California. Protests forming at the California state capitol after reparations bills are shelved. Here's what one group known as the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California posted on X. Quote, "This type of betrayal cannot go unanswered. There must be a political price to pay. Gone are the days when politicians of any race or party can disrespect Black Americans and expect no political consequences."
Now, what do you guys think about that? Sounds good. Shout out to Tricky Nick. What's good with you, bro? It sounds good. If you guys agree that this sounds good, give me a thumbs up or a flame in the chat. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. What's good with you? Sounds good. I hope people stand on business with it. I hope people do this.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Back here that the browser failed to play the video clip. Yeah, I got a little article from the LA Daily, the LA Daily Time about this reparation situation. I didn't know that they were going to have any information about that in this video, but this is good reference information for that article. Here's my question: what are people's general thoughts about that situation? I think it's very interesting that the Democrats felt confident to be able to do something so egregious while a politician from that state is trying to become president in an environment where Democrat support is slipping at an all-time high and accelerating in favor of Trump at an all-time high. Because whether people like it or not, the facts is that the Trump support amongst black people is accelerating at an all-time high. The polls and information have come out and shown that he's tripled his support. This time last year, they said that he was at about 7%. This year, he's at about 21%. 3 times 7 is 21. Very interesting. Now, mind you, those are small numbers. So somebody might look at that and say, well, that's nothing. But all infections start out as one microbe. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So I think that that's interesting. And then on the other side, the people that are not supporting Trump, you got the people that are on the couch. And this is definitely, and I always ask the question, well, what would get you off of the couch? I can definitely see this as something keeping people on the couch. If you guys agree, throw some couches in the chat. So this is very interesting, very bad timing. I'm curious as to how they plan on trying to get out of this. I don't know. I don't know. It seems to me like the Democrats are really just trying to like create their own cave-in of any chances of moving forward politically in 2025. Would you guys agree? It seems to me like they're self-sabotaging at this point.
We are not captured. We are the living embodiment of our ancestors who built this state and this country over 400 years and who are owed reparations. We're coming. No, we're here to get our checks and more. Democrats.
Oh, you know what? That's crazy. I just realized something. Yo, you know what? I just realized something. How come the white guy didn't quote Martin Luther King at the end there? Because you know how they like to bring up Martin Luther King all the time? We're coming. No, we're here. We're coming to get our checks and more. Isn't that from the content of your character speech that these folks and people like Vivek Ramaswamy like to recite? Shout out to Vega. What's good with it, Vega? Shout out to my man Patrick. Make sure y'all show Patrick some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Patrick for funding the organization. You know what? I might have to do an experiment here. Give me 1 second. Hold on real quick, because I want to try. I'm about to try something real quick. Just hang tight. Hang tight here. Hang tight here now. Hold on real quick. Isn't that from that speech though? Let's just get that together real quick though. That's from the speech, right? And white people know that speech so well. They know it so well that anytime they try to talk against any type of political objectives that we're trying to do, they always run forward with the Martin Luther King bumper sticker. But what I'm surprised about and what I'm shocked about and what I'm thoroughly disappointed in Fox News not doing is not flexing more Martin Luther King knowledge like they always do. How dare they? You see, hold on real quick. Get rid of that. All right.
To get the votes, let's be honest. But then they ultimately backtrack in situations exactly like this when it is time to deliver. How will this impact the way specifically black voters treat the Democrat Party on November 5th?
You know what, Todd, I'm going to go a little bit further. They have gone beyond pandering. At this point, they're just straight lying. The fact of the matter is we know that the reparations in which these individuals are seeking is not possible. It's not going to happen. We're not economically positioned to do it. And
well, I guess all the questions are answered about her, aren't they? If all of the questions that you might have had about her have been answered, give me a thumbs up. If they haven't been answered, well, then give me a thumbs down. Looks like they've been answered. Looks like we know what time it is. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. So interestingly, you know, they couldn't really just say too much about the sentiment of black people walking away from Democrats, which is something that Fox News seems to falsely be so concerned about, and they care so much about us, which is one of the reasons why they deny their own familicide and, teachers touching kids all the time, and concentrate on issues going on in Chicago, mind you, one of the cities that didn't make the top 10 most dangerous in the United States, because this is just what they do. They didn't concentrate on that. Talk about people flip-flopping. I don't think that Fox is really qualified to really go in on people flip-flopping all like that anymore. What do you guys think? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
And we know that it seems as though the people who don't know it are those who are advocating for it. And that's either because they're being misled or they're refusing to see the facts that are right in front of them. The truth is, the reparations that we seek as a Black Americans or as any American already exists. It exists in the American dream.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Because if that's the case, then that means that it's equivalent to what white people got, and what injustice was the American dream for white people. So let's cut the games. Let's cut the games. By that same logic, these people should never complain about people getting government handouts, because government handouts are meant for the same thing that a paycheck is meant for people to spend money. Get the hell out of here with this nonsense. And this is one of the reasons why when you see all of those people who come in my chat and try to say Rob is a Trump supporter, man, miss me with the nonsense. I could never support Trump while Trump and Trump people support this. Sorry, not sorry. Now, you might be butthurt about the way that I'm talking about Kamala Harris. Get some preparation H. But aside from that, hey, see that on the screen? That ain't like me. And she not like us. You know what I'm saying?
We have to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of us. And if we were to advocate for something, we need to advocate for the government to do what the government is supposed to do. And that's to remove barriers to success, to remove all of the red tape and allow us to stretch forward, allow the market to stretch, allow the market to work. If we allow that to happen, we will have our reparations. We have more opportunities today than our—
How now is that anytime there's an injustice, is that what happens in the court? I guess so sometimes, because I guess the lawyers tend to either shrink or stretch the truth. Since we're talking about so much stretching, interestingly, somebody else that talks about stretching is Sukihana. But okay, let's continue.
Ancestors could have ever imagined, and we have to embrace that. And I'm tired of them pandering, beyond pandering, just lying, outright lying to us about what can be done and what can't be done. The truth is, we cannot do it economically. We need to move forward, and we need—
if we can't do it economically, then we can't pay taxes economically, but because slavery is what caused and what substantiates our racial wealth gap. So if the United States is not capable of satisfying the debt that it created by creating the racial wealth gap, okay, you want to take cash off the table? The only way for us to make that right, which is something that they could do, is we have zero financial liability for anything. We could walk in any store, take whatever we want, not pay taxes, all the above, period. That's economically feasible because you're not paying out any money. So let's miss me with the games. I guarantee you that this woman right here has zero education when it comes to business. And even if she does, she probably hasn't done anything significant with that education. She probably hasn't had a portfolio of investments that have gained significant gains to where somebody would write a nice article about how to diversify. I guarantee you she hasn't innovated or increased the company's profit 15 to 20% or anything to even be in this position to be talking about these economic effects facetiously without any paperwork or any figures on the screen of, quote unquote, the ability of the United States to pay reparations, while you're sitting there talking about a state that literally just granted the ability to pay migrants $150,000 for housing. This is what I'm talking about when I tell you guys that people, sadly, unfortunately, including us, lose their normal human senses and talk in regards to black people in terms outside of reality. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. I don't think I read your super chat, Patrick. Sorry about that. Patrick says, stop lying, Rob. Angela Rye says she don't believe it. What facts? Here goes somebody for Angela Rye right here. She said that these people don't exist. Here go one of them right here. All right, let's get it.
to push the government to do what it's supposed to do and stop invading our lives and trying to tell us what they can offer us rather than fight.
There's no bigger invasion in your life in government than slavery, and that's what we're coming for our check for. So you need to see that. Look at that face right there. Let's stop that. Anybody that's a content creator in here that likes to make YouTube videos, or if you're a graphic designer and you like to make thumbnails, make sure you guys take a picture of this very bizarre Walrus-esque face right here. You got about 5 seconds. I'll let you guys get the cameras together, get your screenshots together, get reset back on YouTube. Let me know when you guys are done, and then we'll continue. I don't know what you call this face. What do you guys call this face? What do you call this face right here? She's another one that looks like one of those people from the water world on Star Wars, where they cloned Boba Fett. Where they keep finding these people that look like these doggone Jar Jar Binks and all these different characters from these doggone movies. This is what they now look. Hold on, real quick. Matter of fact, I'm about to this now. See, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna show y'all this right here. This right here is yet and still another reason why people are just gonna continue and continue and continue to make YouTube videos, because they're gonna call this some type of woke alien character. Talking about they done turned the alien character black, and the black people didn't exist on this planet or whatever, and they had her on Fox News. You know, the same kind of stuff that they did with the Little Mermaid, just getting all outraged. She looked like that dude that was on that was at that bar on Tatooine with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi had to save Luke Skywalker from him because he's about to beat Luke Skywalker up. He's like, "You'd be sorry, you'd be dead." And then Obi-Wan Kenobi took the lightsaber and you know what I'm saying? She looked like him. Go back and watch the movie. Bet you she do. Y'all might not remember that part, but trust me, you're gonna see that part. You're gonna think about her. Y'all gonna start dying laughing.